So as we're ending 2025, we thought this would be a good opportunity to get together and just kind of contemplate a little bit about the energies we've been working through 2025 and moving into 2026. I know we all kind of came up with some things to chat about. So who wants to start?
Well, I can start. Uh, Openings was my key word for 2026 that I got from Spirit. And
2026, the
yeah,
new year coming up.
right.
Okay, cool.
Were we talking about 2025?
But how did I open this?
I don't remember.
This is perfect. Keep going, Thomas.
Um, I'm looking forward to 2026. So anyway, the main thing for me is to include a spiritual goals focus, remembering I'm a leader. What that means to me is in 2025, one of the highlights is, I've been making sure that I knew what my spiritual goal was as I moved into various opportunities. And there certainly were the physical or material goals that I had to complete things or build things or earn more or do more or be more successful or more. But also there was the spiritual side of it. And, that for me, it involved just like staying relaxed and going, okay, yeah, I got a little fearful there, or I got a little under pressure there. What am I going to do differently next time? So I started to, and then I noticed that the material goals started to show up a little quicker because I had the balance between the material and the spiritual. So the message that I got for 2026 is, for me to continue that there are openings that will occur because when I've got those spiritual goals balanced with the material side of things, you might say with that practical side of things, that allows spirit to move an agenda forward and open up opportunities. But if I feel like I'm going through the same old things I've gone through in previous years and it's the same old rat race, or if I'm working more from my intellect or the greater environment out there, I'm just going to kind of keep in that mode, and that's where I think the wear and tear as people get older, that it's just, there's a point where you just can't take it like you used to be able to gut it out in a young body. The final thing I'll say before we move on is that remembering I'm a leader. So what that means to me is that, as I've often said, I can't expect anybody out there in the environment or in the media to reinforce some of my spiritual goals. I do have friends that I share with and outflow with spiritually, like being involved in this podcast, so that I can share from that perspective and what I'm learning, because that's important to have that outflow for more inflow to come, for more solutions to come, and more insight into how I am creating my own, environment and opportunity. So remember that I'm a leader. All that's saying to me is because I'm not in leadership opportunities all the time, but from a spiritual perspective, as I let go of fears, as I let go of pressure, that's inner leadership, that's spiritual leadership. And it's amazing how contagious that positive energy is. I start to see it around me.
Yeah, so some of the keys I got from my meditation was that 2025 has been about directions. It's been about directions in quite a few different variations. So the physical, the spiritual, and the mental, in the sense that there's been a lot of things that have come to the surface, so to speak. So that has enabled me to gain new direction on where I'm at and how to move forward, moving into 2026. And the visual I had when I did meditation was that I saw like the fire walk, and I got the words feet up and moving through it with grace. So I have a feeling that there's going to be a quickening and perhaps some surprises that are like heating up things along the way for all of us. But how to move through that with grace and to keep my feet and those listening out there feet up as we move forward through the coals.
Yeah, for me, 2025 has been tumultuous both on the great stuff and the not so great stuff, both spiritually and physically. It really has been a wrap up of many things over a long period of time. It for me, it has felt like there have been times when I've felt like this is just overwhelming. It's the same old that you were talking about. And then just that absolute enlightenment of what can be and the potential that's there, and just tapping into that, feeling that, and letting it, I mean, it makes me float on air for days when I'm in it. So 2025 has been a great opportunity, a great fertilizing of the grounds. When I take a look at it from afar and just look at that big picture of how things have been shifting and setting themselves up. And I would say that that energy of purpose and leadership is what it's been building toward. That energy of power, not power over people, power to really do better with what I have, power to shift the things that in the past I haven't been able to shift. So to me, 2025 has really been that groundwork of everything coming together to start making the earth just right for the new plant to grow, the new fruit tree to grow.
I know, and for me personally, I've recognized that there's like, it's definitely a different energy this year of 2025, and that I've been able to discern with more clarity things for myself, in the sense of, what I'm picking up on, what I'm feeling, what's coming. It's my gifts, the four gifts, right? My feeling gift, my hearing gift, my seeing gift, and my knowing gift. So all of those this year have been heightened to a degree that I've never experienced before. And I've also noticed, because I work in the muggle world, right? I've noticed that many other people also are recognizing that, but not knowing what to do with it, and not to be scared about it, and just to embrace it. But I've really been taking notice of how many muggles are out there really unaware of what they're picking up on, but they're picking up on something.
Yeah. And as I review 2025, I think about, wow, well, this happened, and then that happened, and then, I had to do this, and that worked out good. And, oh, and then this opportunity came back around, and, a lot of positive things. I was okay. Things have worked out good for me. I went through a couple of challenges that I've been through before, but this time really set the goal to heal it. And that's what I mean by a spiritual goal. It's like, I want to heal that habit pattern, and I want to have clear communication in that area. So it didn't happen overnight, but I'm on the right track. I want to highlight the difference between what seems to be going on out in the environment, that we often share about the news stories that come out because of the crazy stuff that happens out there. But really, when I look back at my life, and in terms of what I'm working towards, things were pretty good, that I can think of more ups than downs, for the most part. In fact, I think that's what strikes me is it's important for me to every once in a while, even if I have a bad day, think of the things that did go well that day, rather than focus on the one mistake or the one thing that sort of brought me down for a little while or threw me off my pivot. Same thing in the year. Just think of the highlights and make sure I'm tuning into those to feel that sense of fulfillment.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, what's happening for me is just leading. It's an energy that energy of having fertilized soil to grow. And that's what starts leading me into 2026. I'm getting to this point now where for a while now, I've just been really feeling that shift, not only the calendar year, but it's just a shift. You could say it's a spiritual year, and so the calendar year, moving into 2026 is that manifestation. And one of the things that's standing out, a couple things standing out to me, is there is going to be a difference between where I am now and the 2025 and 2020, where I'm going to be in 2026. There's just a difference. And I'm not saying that, I'm going to fly off to the moon or something like that. I'm just saying that there is a different feeling behind it. It's all this groundwork is going to take me someplace. And as I tune into it and the insights that I've gotten and regroup with other people that, we have, the common denominator for me is it's all about starting to have that inner leadership, that loyalty and responsibility to what I've come to do. That is to say, every single manifestation that I have, whether I think it's good or bad, it all has a purpose to move forward. And that kind of firmness, that little bit of, uncompromising energy when it comes to what I've come to do. I can compromise all I need to in order in the physical world with the physical things. No problem. But I cannot compromise my spiritual work. I cannot compromise that key word that I get from my inner guidance. I cannot compromise the dreams that come that give me insights. I cannot compromise those. And so that feeling of not being hard about it, but being firm with it, that 2026 is going to give me the opportunity to start making from one step to two step, from 2 step to 4 steps, from 4 steps to 8 steps, and so on. That feeling, because I have that individual leadership, I'm taking that responsibility. That's where it goes from plus to multiply, etc. It just keeps growing. That is the feeling that's coming. But in order for me to tap it, in order for me to have all that extra personal, spiritual backing, whatever you want to call that, I need to do my part. I need to take on the leadership. I need to say hello in the morning and have this smile. I need to choose that I'm going to feel how I'm going to feel. Mm-hmm. That I have to do my part. Otherwise, I will get washed by and through into other people's leadership opportunities. I will get pulled into the current of what other people are doing. But the moment, and one last thing, I've got a tremendous insight, and I hope this inspires a few people out there, because it inspires me, is that when I fulfill on my own inspiration, on that insight from spirit, and I do it, even sometimes when the environment tells me no, or when it's seemingly not the best thing to do, it's amazing how much more healing, how much more support, and how much the other people get what they need by me doing my thing. To be clear, so in case anybody's hearing, I'm not saying hurt people or anything like that, right? I'm just saying when I focus on my own direction and follow through on what I know I need to do, how much the aura or the net effects helps everybody else that I'm overly stimulated or overly worried about.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that's back to the direction I was talking about when I first started. And recently I did an episode of Enthusiastically Spiritual. I actually recorded it, which will be out on the 1st of the year, which is with I think it's about 14 or 15 people from around the world that came together and shared upon, different aspects of what they do and moving into 2026. And it was profound because there were so many things that were like the same, the same keys and same, but yet different. But the big thing I want to mention is to be of service. That's the big key that I noticed everyone really shared about was, really stepping into their, like you're saying, leadership, really stepping into the things that light them up inside. Even in the midst of all the things that we have going on, or maybe with some people don't feel good a lot of times, or going through family stuff or whatever it is, but how to find ways to show up for yourself, like you're saying, Tiger, because it's so true. Like if we do our work, everything around us just shifts so beautifully, and you don't have to even worry about it or be concerned. Like, yeah, I'm showing up, I'm doing my thing, I'm being of service, feeling fulfilled, and everything else is what is around me.
Yes. Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, well, is that good?
That's beautiful. I mean, the bottom line is we are in and moving through the sphere of inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
That is the spiritual theme of the year. And the more I can be a part of that, lead that, the more healing, the more abundance, the more happiness I'm going to be a part of.
Anything on the spirit of inspiration, Tom?
Yeah, and I know next year we're going to be offering some materials and
Right.
ways to regroup that it's a little bit more organized so that people can follow along and read some of the key words and
Right.
gain some insights from the Wayshowers philosophy and some other materials that we're going to offer.
Reawaken monthly membership. It's
Reawaken.
coming.
With techniques and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
things to
Juicy stuff.
more closely with their own personal team of spiritual helpers.
To be of service. Well, so that's a good way to end 2025. And, we're going to be coming up to, again, on the 6th of January is going to be our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So look forward to doing a kind of a different fun variation of that for you guys out there.
Celebration.
Little celebration, a little move back from the typical and do a little something different. So cheers to that and cheers to New Year, guys.
All right. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
To keep the enthusiasm going, please like, subscribe, or comment below. We would love to hear from you.